So this is the review for Chapter 7 or Unit 7 on rational equations, and we're going to try writing here on this Word document. I'll also try to upload it, the written and the blank one, so you can follow along and have the writing also. So here, our first question, if y varies directly as x, and that means that y over x is our main equation. So if y is 35 when x is 7, then that should equal all y's over x. So we want to find y when x is 11. I reduce this side, so I'd have 5 equals y over 11, just so I'm not dealing with bigger numbers. You don't have to do that. You can just cross multiply from there. Multiply by 11. And you get y equals 55. On the progressing, we have y varies jointly, so y is varying jointly, still directly, but with both x and z. So there's our main setup on our y's, x's, and z's. So x's and z's, y is 18 when x is 2 and z is 3. We want to know what is y when x is 5 and z is 6. So if I reduce this, I get 18 over 6 equals y over 30. And again, you could cross multiply right there, or you can just divide this. So that would be 3 equals y over 30, and then multiply both sides by 30. So y equals 90. Right. Proficient. Here we have if y varies inversely as x, and inversely means that our equations are set up this way. So multiplying instead of dividing, because it's opposite of directly. So when y is 3, x is 14, and we want to find x when y is 6. So we get 42 equals 6x, and then divide both sides by 6. X equals 7. If y varies directly as z and inversely as x, so directly is division, so the z is on the bottom, and inversely is multiplication. So that's how our equations are set up. So when y is 27, z is -3, and x is 2. We want to find x when y is 9, and z is 5. So I again would reduce this, divide that -3 and get -9. So I have -18 equals 9 over 5x, and multiply both sides by 5 over 9. All right, and 9 will go into there, -2 times, -2 times 5, x equals -10. All right, last one. The height that a diver leaps above a diving board varies directly with the amount of tips. So we've got our height varies directly as the tip of the diving board. So if they leap 45, we have a height of 44 inches and a tip of 12. What is going to be the height if it tips 18? I would cross multiply. You could reduce. So we have 18 times 44 equals 12h 792 equals 12h, and then divide by 12. H equals 66 inches. Right, so then the next part was just simplifying and then multiplying and dividing. So I'm going to just simplify this. 7 goes into 21 3 times. 7 goes into 14 twice. 2x is here and 3x is here, so I'm left with 1x on the top. 1y on the top, 2 y's on the bottom, so I'm left with 1y on the bottom. So I get 3x over 2y. Oopsie, too far. It's very touchy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and multiply this out. So I get 3m f to the third over 12 f. 3 goes into 12 4 times. This f goes into these 3 f's and leaves me with 2. So on the top, I'm left with mf squared, and on the bottom, I'm left with 4. So remember, multiplication is, or division is multiplying by the reciprocal. So I have 80 y to the fourth, 49 z fifth, v seventh, times 14 z 12, v 5, over 25 y to the fifth. And we could go ahead and multiply, actually multiply like my numbers, but I think it'd just be easier to write them out here like this as one top and one bottom. It's a 7. So 7 goes into 49 twice, or into 14 twice, and 49 7 times. 5 goes into 80 16 times, and I forgot my 25. And 5 goes into 80 16 times, and 25 5 times. I think that's all I can reduce on the numbers. So then let's go to our letters. 4 y's here and 5 y's here. It leaves me with 1 y. 5 z's here and 12 z's here. It leaves me with 7 z's. 5 v's and 7 v's leaves me with 2 v's. So I think everything has been reduced. So I'm left with on top 2 times 16 is 32 z to the 7th over 7 times 5 is 35 v squared y. So not too hard, it just kind of takes a little bit to simplify it all down. All right, so here we're going to want to, when we have quadratics, want to factor. So what multiplies to be negative 24, adds to be negative 5, negative 8, and 3. So this factors into the top part. Numerator factors into w minus 8, w plus 3, all over w plus 1. That can't be factored. And then the top part here, and again we can write that out into factors because my w is 1. The top part here is multiplies to be negative 7, adds to be negative 6. So that gives me negative 7 and positive 1. So that one multiplies or factors into w minus 7, w plus 1. And the numerator or denominator cannot be factored. So here's all my factors. So this factor will cancel out with that factor. We can't cancel terms, but we can cancel factors, and that factors out. So that leaves me with w minus 8 w minus 7, either over 1 or just like that, or if you want to multiply that out, you can also. You would get w squared minus 15w plus 56 if you multiplied that. All right, last one that we're going to look at on this review is this, or for this video, is this one. So this is division, just written in a different way. So I know that division is multiplying by the reciprocal, so I'm going to flip this bottom one. And then I see some powers to the 2, so that I should know to factor that. So this factors into a minus b, because it's two things squared, a plus b. Might want to pull out that yellow factor flowchart sheet that we had a while ago. So this a plus b and this a plus b will factor to 1. 2a goes into 4a twice. And I'm left with a minus b on top over 2.